Austin. How are you?
Hi, Rachel. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. So to start, I like how this is a thriller, but it's also kind of campy at times when you're trying to find that balance between like the thriller aspects and who is doing this to this woman versus that campiness. How do you kind of like navigate as a director and a writer where you hit those beats?
I think, in a way, we worked through the script with the cast, individually many times and kind of knew what was going to, when were moments that felt like this is a crack or this is a crack in, her armor, or this is maybe a funnier moment or an up moment for her. But I think also a lot of that happens organically on the day through their performances and also in the edit, and one of the things that a, a, attracted me to this movie is sort of like this space that is sort of both incredibly highly serious, but also totally ridiculous, and the way that those things kind of fall into one another. And sometimes it becomes hard to tell which is which. And that was something that was always super exciting about the project.
Mhm.
So definitely, I think a lot of that work through happens in the edit with Laura Zempel, the editor, and sometimes we would have versions of scenes that were too funny, and we would say we have to take this out. It's too funny, or it's too silly, or it's too ridiculous, and we have to make it a bit more serious, or we have to make it a bit more. You have to feel the stakes a little bit more, and so there was always that sort of calibration throughout the film, while also trying to let people know early enough that they have permission to laugh and
Mm.
it's okay to laugh in this movie, that it is a thriller and that it is serious and it is dangerous, but you have full permission to laugh throughout the film.
Yeah. Well, I also think setting it in 2013, probably one of the worst times for fashion, and no one knew what they were doing, helped because that is my favorite part where you see her with like the old school iPhone and stuff, and I'm just like, yep, we had those little phones with headphones that we had to attach back then, and it's a fun time period to kind of get to go back to. How much fun did you have as a director getting to like mess with the 2013 aspect of this story?
It was really fun because it's a recent period movie. It
Yeah.
was it was, and it's long enough ago that it was the past and things were so different. If you think about where we were at culturally, it was so different, than where we are now. Um, but also at the same time, it's not long enough to immediately signal to the audience this is a different time period. It's only far enough ago to be jarring, where the style and the aesthetic of interior design and all that kind of stuff, it hasn't quite come back around to be nostalgic yet. It's only out of style. So I think that we made a decision, certainly with the costumes, that the way that this character presented herself to the world was of chief importance to her. Obviously, that's the sort of one of the central conceits of the film. And so we wanted her looks to tell you where we were and what time it was, and we wanted her to have like real looks. So that was such a fun part of the process, and the first part of really developing or bringing hope to life beyond just the work that Elizabeth had already done and we had done together on the script.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, I was like, Hope, it's down to the details of like she has the black eyeliner that we used to do like when I was in high school and college, where you would just go like this and it'd be as dark as possible. Like that is the eyeliner she's wearing. And I think it's very funny because some people we still do it just to cling every once in a while, but it really is like a very late 2000s, early 2010s situation. Were you guys that specific about the details of like how these people would have looked back in 2013?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, for the makeup and hair, they were definitely on that. And for the way that the all the UIs on the phone work is sort of mirrored after the UIs at that time, and the computers and everything was we tried to be as authentic as we possibly could, even to the point where it started to feel crazy, where we're doing it and we're freaking out over these little details, and someone can't help but say, no one is going to notice this. No one is going to care about this. And sometimes, like, the way that she receives the video and the first time, that's the way the UI used to work in that time. And
Mhm.
now it's really strange to look at. It almost takes you out of it because that's not how it works anymore. Um, so we had to make a decision, most of the time, there was a couple times where we had to make decisions about whether we wanted to be true to the time period or do what was the best for the visual storytelling of it. And most of the time we were able to keep it authentic uh, without affecting sort of the flow of information.
Well, I have to ask you about a piece of the set because I'm obsessed with like Jordan's let me look like these dudes board. I
Yeah.
think it is so funny. Like it's just a bunch of dudes shirtless and he's like, I'm working out to it. And I was like, yep, I also had a wall of shirtless dudes as a teenager, but like I think it's funny to see it in a movie when you guys were working on little details like that, like how much of it was you guys working with actors to be like, okay, well, what do you think Jordan would have on this mood board versus like, well, we have to make this look like the audience is going to stare at this probably and be like, oh, there's that guy.
Yeah, it was that, that was something that Liz Tunkel and I talked about a ton, who is the production designer, and what Jordan's, apartment was going to feel like. And that was something that she was excited about from the beginning, was his board of Fitspiration, and so that was in there really early on. And when Lewis, started getting into the character, he was really into that kind of stuff and thinking about what this guy would like and what kind of jewelry he would wear and all that kind of stuff. So I think we kind of all got on the same page pretty quickly about what this guy should feel like and what his world should be like when we step into it. So yeah, that was something that came up really early, actually, and I'm so glad that it worked for you.
I thought it was so funny. What I was gonna say, like the details of this movie are crazy to me because even like the details of where his tattoo is, I'm like, that is such a 2010s tattoo. No one in 2024 would get that tattoo, but someone in 2013 would 100% have a like mid stomach tattoo that they did now just have to deal with. When you are when you are doing those little details, is that fun for you though as a director? Like to actually dive into like detail work versus the wider picture?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that that's the part that is maybe you have to try not to get, or me personally, I have to try not to get sidetracked with them because I will latch onto them so intensely. And that's the part about working with amazing, artists in different departments, whether it was Angelina Vito, the costume designer, or Liz, the production designer. Those details were so important to them, and we would go back and forth on them forever. Like, Angelina, the costume designer, said, she just always has to be dripping. She just always has to be wearing so much jewelry that it makes no sense, like that it just is totally impractical and counterintuitive to everything we know about her and how she's spending her money. So all of that was, I think, really exciting. And I think that that's what brings that's what brings the characters to life, and certainly what excites the different department heads.
And you also had such an incredible cast in this. Like when the first one of the first moments of this movie, you're like, oh, she's talking to Nathan Fillion. Like Nathan Fillion is the news anchor that she's doing this interview with. And then it just kind of keeps spiraling into all these people that people really love. I do think the Nathan Fillion casting is very 2013 as well. But when you are working with all of these kind of actors, how much is it a collaboration between the two of you versus you being like, this character, like go do what you think that character would do?
I think that it's definitely a collaboration, but the things that they bring to it, take it so much further than I sort of could, and we're always excited about the discoveries, and the way that this cast brought these characters to life was something that surprised me every single day. The decisions that Elizabeth made and the decisions that Nathan made, the other thing is that we shot this movie in 18 days. And so um, and everyone was so busy that we had to really sort of do this kind of puzzle, this like Jenga tower of like how we could get everyone in when they were free. And so Nathan, we had to shoot out so quickly. And I think his performance is so strong, and a lot of that is a testament to what an amazing actor he is, and a testament to the relationship that he has with Elizabeth, that they are such old friends and have worked together for so many times, that they get in there, and both of their fearlessness, because he really is fearless as well and is just totally unafraid to go for it. And so um they their instincts are so strong, but in a scene like that, it's really just a little bit of calibration, and then you just let them rip, and it's and try not to like crack up at the monitor because they're being so funny all the time.
What I was gonna say, I was like, how is it for you when you're navigating a lead character who, A, her business practice makes no sense because she gives half of her stuff away for free to people because she's like, oh, it's free marketing. It's like, no, but you're making $0, which is why you have this issue. But also another character who, in theory, he's done nothing wrong other than open up a business near this woman and is just included. How do you kind of like work as a writer and a director to make sure that we as the audience are like, these people are so like bad at their jobs or just like not even supposed to be involved, and yet we want to know what's going on with them?
Well, I think it's just kind of about if it feels true, and I think that if if someone feels real and someone feels true, you can excuse all of their sort of less desirable and maybe more challenging qualities. You can spend time with a challenging. I love a challenging character, and you can spend time with them because you sort of understand that this is how they feel, and you're on this journey with them. And I think that is a testament to the performances, is that Elizabeth embodies this character so strongly, and she has so much charisma that sort of some of the fun in it is being like, oh God, don't do that. Like that was kind of what we knew would be, that's sort of what we knew would be the fun of this movie. It's an anxiety thriller where you're sort of you're like gripping your seat through laughs, being like, please don't do that.
Yeah, I did laugh my ass off when Jordan is like, that this is the best picture I ever took. I was like, it's on a 2013 iPhone. How good can it be? Those cameras were bad.
Yeah, he's got a lot of lines. He knows what to say. He definitely is always laying it on really thick, and that's why it's fun, I think, to watch the two of them, because he's laying it on so thick, and she likes it, but she also like knows that it's bullshit.
Yeah, it's so much fun. For a last quick question that's very, very dumb, but I think it's funny. Obviously, it doesn't work out timeline wise, but was there ever a part of your heart that wanted to put on the fit spiration board just the picture from Top Gun Maverick when they're all on the beach playing football? Just like put it up there for the lulz.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I think we would have had some legal issues in addition to time period issues, but that is definitely Fitspiration for sure.
Just print it out on like a piece of paper from a computer. No, 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 the difference.
I'm gonna put it on my board. Yeah.
I love it. Thank you so much for talking with me. I really appreciate it. And I can't wait for everyone to get to see skincare.
Thank you so much. So nice to talk to you.
Nice to talk to you. Bye.
See you later.